A headline that is hard to stomach for South Africa fans. A 10-match unbeaten run ahead of AFCON 2015 suggested Bafana would go far in the tournament. But it wasn't to be. Shakes Mashaba's men return home after the group stage, having lost 2 games and drawn 1.
Well, obviously all of us were just expecting that we're going to come up with something nice, because we saw how they played on other games prior to the tournament, and it just took our hopes up as South Africans. But we lost.
Leading towards the tournament, they put our hopes very high, and they got to Guinea, and then they kind of... It was disappointing at the end of the day, yeah.
Expectations had been further raised by coach Shakes Mashaba. He'd claimed South Africa would win the trophy. Former South Africa defender Matthew Booth believes that was the wrong approach, but says the tournament will provide Bafana with a valuable learning experience.
Yeah, I think everybody got caught up in the hype, and that's fantastic, you know, to get behind the boys. That's what they needed. But ultimately, you needed a few more sort of knowledgeable people to put their hands up and say, you know, the Puritans of the game, to say, hold on a minute, you know, don't get carried away, you know, just remain sort of with our feet on the ground. Be that as may, you know, that is what you get from a football-loving public. They expect the best from you, but I think they've just got to realise that this is a team for the future.
So an Africa Cup of Nations that promised so much ends in disappointment for South Africa. The question now for SAFA is whether they still believe that Shakes Mashaba is still the right man to take the team forward, or whether they'll be tempted to make yet another change. That's not in question though, according to Booth.
From this tournament and the way Shakes has changed our fortunes around so dramatically, I would never have thought that he would have been able to qualify in such a short space of time and so convincingly. So, and the style of football that he took to AFCON was a joy to watch. Just a little bit of naivety here and there, and we would be into the quarterfinals.
South Africa will return home later on Thursday. Sadly for fans here, it won't be to a hero's welcome. Dan Williams, CCTV, Johannesburg, South Africa.